Florida. There's a look at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami. Today, it's week 4, and we've got what should be a great one here between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Miami Dolphins. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The former second-round pick, this is Joe Mixon. And he'll find some space up to about the 25. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
Now a first carry for Latavius Murray. And a nice move will yield nothing as he's stopped behind the line. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up third.
Doesn't matter who you're rooting for in this game. The effort of the man with the football, getting away from one and trying to turn forward and get some yardage, I really liked what he did there.
Get down, get down.
Throwing his car on third down. Dumps it off to Mixon. No gain at all on the play there, and that brings up fourth.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
Yeah, it was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
The fourth down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down. On the ground, this is Leonard Fournette. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. On second down, here's Fournette. And he'll get this one up to about the 39 here. 7 yards on the carry. Make it 3rd and 4 coming up.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. He'll drop to throw. He throws and he hits the slant route to Thomas. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. 11 yards there as they connect on the quick slant.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
Detroit!
Delayed
game offense.
And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves them back 5. Now they need 15 yards on this series after the delay of game. First and 15.
56. All right, here we go. Green, 39. Green, 39.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. The target that time, Michael Thomas. That'll bring up second down.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. So they'll come up after the incompletion for second down.
Watch it now, Barney.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Looking again for Thomas, this time complete. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for third down. Dolphins bring on an extra defensive back on third down. They'll set up to throw. That'll be caught right side by Reed. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's fourth down. And forget about the run to set up the pass. They're just coming out throwing.
Forget trying to set anything up. They feel like they have the advantage. They feel like they have the matchups, and they're just attacking right now.
Yep, going to the air on the opening drive. And they're going to at least line up to go for it here on fourth down. They'll look to throw. And my goodness, this is incomplete. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And the Dolphins' defense is able to hold. And he'll have a tough time living that one down. It's one thing, Charles, to drop a pass. It's quite another to drop it on fourth down.
And so many teams work on that in terms of locking in on those key downs. You know, you and I both been to practices where we've seen, hey, third down situation, big third down alert, lock in here. Fourth down play, make sure you're focused just a little bit extra. It didn't pay off in that situation.
I think defensively you're okay with that. You're in the first quarter. He's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle them, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that, you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to pick up first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side before lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
And he's got the completion to Hopkins. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. The 21 yards there as they convert on third.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
And seeing no options, he just tosses this one away incomplete. Now that'll bring up second down.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of, otherwise he was going to get sacked.
Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up second and 10. A handoff to Mixon. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. It's a loss of 2, now third down.
Footing's definitely going to be an issue because it's tough to make those quick cuts that you're used to making on a soggy track. In fact, a Hall of Fame runner once told me, cut on your heels in this type of weather. Gives you better balance.
On third down, Carr. Roberts with it over the middle. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th.
Well, we hear so often how tackling has become almost a lost art in the NFL game. But it's so important to tackle well on these receivers, especially in a play like this one. Third down, they gave him the underneath stuff. You got to go up and make the tackle all the way.
And Myers able to knock it through, as we'll see one following the score on the final play before break. Now the punter, who also does the kickoff duties, Locke Edwards, out to kick it away. This is fielded at the goal line. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. The Eagles offense now gets set to head back onto the field. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. But good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here, because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3. And that's exactly what happened there.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know I've got a defense that can hold up their end.
A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves them with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on 1st down, that fits the bill.
A handoff to Fournette. And he'll bring it up here to right at the 40-yard line. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
They were not fooling around at all, were they? 2nd and short, and they brought out the heavy package. Almost felt like the super heavy package against that defense, didn't it?
Yeah, I don't think they expected that much beef up front, and it turned into an easy 1st down conversion. Back to throw now on 1st down. Fuller brings it in over the middle. And they're well past midfield, just a yard or 2 shy of the 40. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
Now here's a pass on 1st down that's knocked away and incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Ball on the 42 as they come up 2nd and 10.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. He's lit. Got a man. It's caught at the 6-yard line. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Will Fuller with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Eagles are able to cash it in for 6. Robbie Gould on for the extra point. The point after through the raindrops, up and good. And that makes it a 7-3 lead. Gould now out to kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Out comes the Dolphin offense now as they get set to take over here. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. Just, I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
On second down, here's Mixon. They'll only get a couple up to about the 30.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
The Dolphins on third down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3. Throwing now is Carr. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
Now a look at Will Fuller as he and the rest of the offense gears up to get ready to go again. He's doing what he's capable of, having a solid game. Not the most amazing game. He's not over 100 yards, but a good game so far.
And you just know that mentally he feels like he's one catch away from turning it into a great game and starting on that road. And the defenders are well aware of that too. They've got to figure out a way to not let that escalate. Keep him right in this zone here and call it a day, because otherwise he can really decimate them.
Better believe they are well aware of his playmaking ability.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. They'll set up a throw. Throw left side is complete to Reed. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down.
Lucky 56. Detroit! Detroit!
On first down, he'll drop to throw. That's caught. It's Thomas. And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. A good pickup there of 22. That opening drive rhythm continues right into play number 3.
Whatever they decided that they wanted to run before the game, it's working pretty well for them right now. Moving the ball downfield at a nice rate. And guess what? I think the chain crew might have to get a little oxygen over there. They have to keep moving downfield with first downs on each play.
Detroit! Detroit!
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And down he goes. Pressure gets him back at the 14. D. Ford in there to sack him for a loss of 6.
Well, there's still time to rectify this situation because the silver lining, they took a sack on 1st and goal. But that close to the goal line, that still definitely hurts.
So first down went in the wrong direction. They're at the 13-yard line. Here's 2nd and goal. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. His throw incomplete.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's the one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. Now he's flushed out left. He can run for it, and he will. He'll wind up getting 4 yards there on his own, but it also brings up 4th down.
Well, partner, nothing comes open here, so he decides to escape out of there, and he doesn't pick up a first down, but he does gain additional yardage to set up a possible field goal attempt if they decide to go that route.
Well, the offense failed earlier on the previous crack at this, but they're going again on 4th down. They'll drop the throw. And that is going to be incomplete. They had the play call on 4th and goal, but it's dropped in the end zone. And the Dolphins' defense is able to hold. So a tough pill to swallow there. A would-be touchdown pass in and out of his hands on 4th.
Sometimes it just comes down to execution, doesn't it? Because we're always questioning, should they go for it, should they not? Is it the right play call, is it not? In this situation, everything was right except for the finish. You have to catch the ball and convert.
And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. Successful start to the drive, 17 yards, and moves the sticks. A reminder, coming up at halftime, we'll send you up to Orlando. Jonathan Coachman is there, and he'll have stats and scores from a busy Sunday in the NFL. On first down, Carr. They'll set up the screen here to Mixon. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. The first down screen pass, good for 5. The Dolphins moving with a sense of urgency here. Now Carr throwing on second down. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Roberts. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's third down. Carr going to try and throw on third down. And he can't quite intercept it. Zone coverage, free safety was there. Couldn't come up with it, and now it's fourth down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? Zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Now out comes their leader and the captain of this offense back onto the field. He's played a pretty clean first half, a touchdown, no interceptions.
Frankly, that's what they expect out of it. They want to see the ball thrown and thrown well, and he's able to do that and put it in the end zone. They'd love to see more of that before this game finishes. But right now, he's got his team in a good spot.
A good spot, maybe looking for touchdown pass number 2 here in the second quarter. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Dolphins have got it. Holding on to the football becoming a little bit of an issue. He had 2 fumbles last week, remember.
I played for a guy that used to talk all the time about creating turbulence in the pocket, making the quarterback jumpy, make him antsy, keep getting after him a little bit, and make sure he thinks about holding on to the ball because you're going after him.
So after the fumble recovery, it's Carr. This will be caught at about the 6. So he got free of 1 tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. That'll bring up second and goal after the gain of 5.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there.
And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. Seth Roberts, his second touchdown on the season. And the Dolphins are in for 6.
And while that touchdown does not give them an insurmountable lead, it's still a lead, and that always feels good to a team.
They'd love to take that into the lockers, but a little time left on that clock, so some work to do.
I like that. I like how you're guarding against a letdown there.
Are you looking forward?
Coaching them up from right up here in the booth.
And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Here again comes the captain of this offense, leading his crew back out there now. Been a decent start for him here in this first half, but they're losing. And I think as the captain of the offense, you probably always feel like you need to do more in that situation.
The best have always felt that way, and they won't settle for anything less. So right now, his goal is to increase what he's doing on the field, try to make sure his teammates come along with him, and he feels like if I do better, everyone will do better. And that's what we're seeing from him right now. Got to have a little extra determination.
Yeah, a little extra determination. He has thrown the touchdown pass, no interceptions for him personally to this point. And throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete. Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Oh, he's got a little daylight. Give him 10 that time, escaping the danger, running with it, and picking up a first down. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense, as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They'll look to throw now on 1st down. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on.
Pass interference, defense.
So they saw the contact before the ball arrived. Penalty flag for pass interference.
And trying to avoid pass interference is so difficult. You're trying to slow down these skilled receivers, and somehow, some way, they make plays on the football, and sometimes you're there too soon.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Hurry up, here we go. Green 39. Green 39. Hot.
They'll look to throw here on 1st down. Looking long for Thomas. And that is caught one-handed. Oh, my, he pulled it in. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. Michael Thomas, his first touchdown on the year. And the Eagles are able to cash it in for 6. Gold with the extra point, and the lead is now 14-10. The drive there only spanning 3 plays. The result, Philadelphia in the end zone. Gold now out to kick it away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. Getting set to go again, DeAndre Hopkins marches back onto the field. They've got to be thinking, how can we get him a little bit more involved here? Second quarter, you're down, and really, he's been out of the mix.
I would agree with that, and oftentimes you hear, well, we're just taking what the defense is giving us. But sometimes that's just not good enough. Sometimes you have to take what you want, and that means getting him the football.
Yeah, so far just a single catch in this game. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. So we've reached halftime. All right, folks, eager to get back to this Week 4 matchup. We won't put up a fight. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. This is taken at his 4. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Out come the Eagles now as they'll go on offense first here in the 3rd quarter. They have the lead now. They'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the 3rd quarter.
I like the way you term that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
See if they do just that. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go, because he might wander into some tough coverage.
This quarterback now 9 of 15 throwing the ball, 60%, and it's 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding offense.
So he was holding from that left tackle position.
Everyone tries to keep their hands inside when they're blocking ever since they liberalized the rules where you can extend them out. But sometimes they get out a little wide and they get detected grabbing some cloth.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty.
Here we go. Green, 39. Green.
Now back to throw. The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
After the sack, they're staring at a challenge basically from the other side of town. It's 2nd and a country mile. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. He's letting this one go for Fuller. Well, this is taken in. It's complete. Will Fuller was the intended target. Well, the numbers have been good in the passing game, and certainly a big reason why they have the lead. But now here, 3rd quarter, maybe go to the run game a little more?
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, after that incompletion, a little credit to the defense for shutting them down on that play. Maybe you try and run the football a little bit more in this spot. But they have to feel good about how they've been throwing it overall.
Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. He'll go over the middle to Reed, complete. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Able to get 7 on that 1st down pass play. 2nd and 3.
All right, now look at 56.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Oh, he got position on him, and he pulls it in. That one goes for 24 yards.
Well, from an offense's perspective, that sure was pretty because the corner route is extremely difficult to defend from my perspective.
What we just saw there, is that sort of the evolution of the tight end position?
Yeah, I think it is because more and more, tight ends are being treated like wide receivers. These are some agile players who can make a play in any spot on the field.
Over.
Back to throw. Now to the left here to Reed. And here he'll get it down to the 7. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
Well, they're unable to convert that into much, but it's never a bad idea to try to get the ball into a tight end of his caliber's hands and see what kind of disruption he can cause.
Watching that, Barney.
They're going to look to throw. And he's going to go down. Sacked back at the 13-yard line. Muhammad Wilkerson in there to get him his 2nd sack now of the afternoon.
That's his 2nd sack of the game, and the best defensive ends, they do their homework as much as offensive guys do. They know how to beat the offensive lineman across from them, what moves they need to do to set them up. This guy's been pretty good at it all game long.
He'll drop to throw. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the former first-round pick, Demarius Randall. He couldn't get the hook up there that time with Thomas. First possession of the 3rd quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
They'll try to get the run game going. This is Mixon. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line.
The best offenses and the ones that win are ones that make adjustments. And right now, I think this team needs to open things up.
They'll stay on the ground. Mixon again. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Give him 3 yards on the run there. That still leaves him with a difficult 3rd and 8 coming up.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
Now throwing on third down there, but he cannot connect.
We're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. Returnable here from the 38. 12 yards on the return that time. And the Eagles will have great starting field position here as they take over. Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the ending, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part two, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Caught on the right side, Reed. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
His position, and he's listed as a tight end, but he certainly doesn't run like one, and that's what we're seeing more and more coming into the league. Those guys who can run, make plays after the catch, and gain that additional yardage.
And using that speed there to turn it into a pretty nice little gain. To throw now on first down. He's got Fuller. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. And he's over 100 yards now after that last catch. Already, of course, leading the NFL in receiving yardage.
So he's done nothing at all to hurt his cause, to stay in that spot. But I've been so impressed with how he's gotten it done. Body control, route running. How about the way he competes for the football at the end of the play?
And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. And this will probably be the last play of the quarter.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Back to throw here. A dump down to McKinnon. Back now in Miami. It's the Eagles in possession of the football and leading this one as we get ready to start the final quarter. So first and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. Thomas, the lone receiver, left.
Watch him now, Barney. Barney.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And they're going to get to him. A sack. Sack back at the 9-yard line.
Well, if you're going to throw the ball on first and goal from the 2, the worst thing that should result is an incompletion for you offensively. For Brandon, this is a different type of football. Back in my day, first and goal from the 2, a lot of big people with big neck rolls, they were on the field trying to ram it into the end zone.
This will be caught at about the 5. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Jordan Reed, his second touchdown on the season. And the Eagles add on to their lead.
The tight end position has always been dangerous, especially in the red zone, short field. But now even more so because these tight ends aren't necessarily the tight ends of old. They're the rocked-up wide receivers who have a little bit more speed, way harder to cover than before.
Gold now out to kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. So now here come the Dolphins. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Carr going to throw. Finds Roberts left side. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
I thought that wasn't a bad time to call the screen. I thought late game, down on the scoreboard, had to figure they were expecting a pass downfield.
Listen, the pressure comes, and down he goes. The Eagles get there for the sack. Nick Perry in there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that'll lead to a 4th down.
Well, that play was the very definition of fast, quick, and in a hurry. Suddenly, he was there.
Yeah, blink of an eye. That happened fast, and a big sack. Now Carr, got to have this one. He finds Roberts, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down. 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They felt compelled to go for it, and they got it.
Well, I'd look down at my play sheet, and what I would find, plays have been successful throughout the game that have worked at the distance you need. That's exactly what they got done.
And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. The completion good for 3, and it's 2nd down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means they have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Caught Eifert over the middle. And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
Well, they were unable to make anything really big out of that. But it's not a bad idea to find your tight end and give him an easy completion and keep moving things forward. Almost his bread and butter. It's a good running back dive play.
Again, it's Carr. Oh, no, he lost the football. And the Eagles have recovered.
Brandon, I don't want to violate any of our broadcasting rules by declaring a game over before it's over. But that one, that puts them in real jeopardy there.
Absolutely. It was a 2-possession game. It is a 2-possession game at this stage in the 4th. They needed points out of that drive.
And obviously now, no chance at all to get those points that they so desperately needed.
Gone! Watch it now, Barney!
They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. And he'll be wrapped up around the waist and pushed down.
This has been a tough one for this offensive line. It appears almost like they've been on roller skates this entire game, the way they've been pushed around. 6 sacks given up in this one.
Here we go now. Green 39. Green 39.
Out of the gun. They'll look to throw. He's going to let this one go. It's caught inside the 25. And all the way down to the 7-yard line. It's a big play there for the Eagles. 48 yards. And looking to put this game on ice in the 4th quarter, but still not afraid to throw it as they show there.
You want to play the game with confidence, and they have a guy who's in control right now. Their trigger guy, throwing it, they feel just as confident with him doing that as they would if they tried to run the ball and run the clock out.
Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Flush to his right, and this is incomplete.
Let's give this defense some credit now. They let the guys get downfield, but when push came to shove, they stood their ground. Now they'll likely force a field goal attempt.
They'll try again here from the 7 on 2nd and goal. They'll set up a throw. This will be caught at about the 5. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. Only 3 yards there on the completion. That'll lead to a 3rd and goal.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky.
He'll look to throw. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. In for the score. And the Eagles add 6 to their lead.
You have fun with this one, partner?
I am. I mean, he's been fun to watch under center.
We always talk about, getting to the next level, right? When we see people get into the zone, this guy's in the masterclass right now. What a performance he's putting on, just carving them up. 4
touchdown passes. Carving them up is right. Seems like everything he throws is going to be a completion and going in the end zone. Gold able to tack on the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Gold now out to kick it away. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Time for a break. We're back to finish this one off after this. The Dolphins offense now working their way back onto the field. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride.
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time. But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them.
Get down. 180.
On second down, here's Carr. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. The linebacker, Miles Jack, able to knock that one away.
And that incompletion was caused by the defense. I think they were trying to get one into the middle of the field, trying to find a receiver there. But they were in zone defense. And what are the advantages of being in zone? Eyes and reaction. Eyes meaning all eyes are on the quarterback and able to react when he throws the football and rally to that spot. And that's exactly what happened there. Able to get there and knock it away.
And the Eagles are going to go ahead and take another timeout. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down.
Get down.
On first down, Carr to the left side here for Eifert. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. The Eagles will take their third and final timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. Now Carr again. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
Well, he'd been targeted quite a bit on this drive, and finally I think the guys on the defensive side, they said no more. They slapped the double coverage on him, made it very tough for him to get the ball.
Down. 185.
They fake the handoff. Now Carr. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. They give him 27 yards on the third down conversion. Carr to throw again. Roberts with it over the middle. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Again, they'll throw with Carr. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up third. They don't get the hook up there, but you really have to marvel at how precise he's been throwing the football these last couple weeks.
Oh, that's the perfect word for it, precise. Because if you're at 70% or better 2 weeks in a row, you have a job as long as you want one in this league, won't you? I mean, let's face it's not just West Coast offense either. He's putting the ball downfield as well.
And now the third down throw incomplete as well.
Tell you what, partner, after he ices down, he's going to need a nice long soak in a hot tub after this one. He's been under duress the entire game.
Yeah, once again, hit as he throws. Fortunate that one wound up incomplete. They'll try and run with Murray. And try to push his way forward, but I think he's going to be short. And he is short. They had to go for it with such little time remaining, and that's going to be just about all she wrote for this one. So they tried to go for it for pride, but it really wouldn't have mattered. This one, it was already determined.
No doubt about it. This one was over a while ago.
The fourth down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on first down.
Here we go now. Blue
That one looks like he'll throw here. Looking deep down and got his man complete. The 20, 10, touchdown, Philadelphia. Will Fuller, 83 yards. And the Eagles add on to their lead.
Brandon, remind me again, this is a rookie quarterback we're seeing?
A rookie indeed.
I mean, because my eyes are telling me something I'm having trouble believing. 5 touchdown passes. He's thrown 5 in this game. Are you kidding me?
Gold with the extra point. The final score now from that game at Lambeau. And it was the Packers able to come away with a victory. Tyrod Taylor, a touchdown pass to help lead the way. And the Dolphins are going to recover. The fourth quarter, they felt like they needed the football back. Unfortunately, they couldn't get it.
And I know we brought analytics into the game, and someone has said here that the data says that when a team's expecting an onside kick, 80% of the time, the team expecting it, they do actually recover the ball, which is what we saw here. I just wonder if that number is much more of a anecdotal type of a number. Kind of like when they're
under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 46. Now they got to get to the line quickly. Now Carr throwing on second down. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts as they get it with just 19 seconds left on the clock. On play action, it's Carr. Eagle pressure, too much this time. Down he goes. Now on fourth down, we've got a whistle here and a timeout, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the ball game. Here's Lachlan Edwards now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And this is going to hit the goal line and continue on into the end zone for a touchback. They'll try and start this drive in the air. Throwing right, and that's complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. Well, Charles, the forecast called for rain throughout the entire game, and we got rain throughout the entire game. But these two teams, they had fun getting dirty out there. They love the slop.
Did you trust the forecast ahead of time? Are you one of those guys that's skeptical about it, or did you trust it?
But when I saw just a big blob of green on the radar, I said, okay, let's trust.
Yeah, and that's why I'm glad you took my advice. Got your notes laminated, because, you know, open-air booth, that rain can affect us as well, although not as much as the guys on the field. But let's face it, it's kind of fun to watch these types of games, isn't it?
It is. By the way, how impressive is it that you travel with a laminator? I didn't even know there was a portable laminator.
The things that you learn.
Golly, wise beyond his years. So for Philadelphia, they're on a nice early roll as they move to 3-1 with a win here. And they will head home next week to take on the Washington Redskins. Meanwhile, for the Dolphins, they'll drop down to 1-3. And they'll try and turn things around next week as they have a date at MetLife Stadium with the New York Jets. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.